The following is a podcast from a qualified senior care provider heard on the Answers for Elders radio show.
And welcome back, everyone. We are here with Rebecca Bomann, the CEO of SASH Services. And SASH stands for Sell a Senior's Home. And Rebecca and I are in right now. We just started with the first two, what I call Bill of Rights, but it really is first two rights of every senior, which we talked about was kindness and what was the other one? Patience. Those were the first two. I should know that. And it's very, very true. And something that, I think it's not remiss or just trite to even mention that, because so many of us that maybe be a family member, we're busy, we lead busy lives. And so we just look at it like a business transaction.
Right.
It's not. It's an emotional, impactful situation.
Yes.
And so, Rebecca, thank you for, bringing this up. I think it's really important for families to remember that. And also people in the industry,
Yes.
Realtors to remember that as well. So.
Yep. No matter what kind of home they have, no matter where they live, no matter how long they've lived in it, we believe these are 8 things that every senior homeowner deserves in their home sale.
Absolutely.
So we started off with kindness and patience, which can often be the hardest.
Yes, especially if your parent is pushing your buttons sometimes.
Yeah.
Or siblings or other types of things. Yeah.
Exactly. So our third one is decision making. Every senior deserves the ability to make their own decisions about their home sale journey, about their move out of their family home. And a lot of seniors' families are well-intentioned, but they're in a hurry and they just want to knock things out, like you say, a business decision. And so they say, we're doing this, we're moving there, we're hiring this realtor, you can't take that lamp, you can't do this, this is how much we can afford. And mom or dad, who are sitting there listening, start to feel like the home sale is happening to them instead of them feeling like they're in the driver's seat. This is their journey that they're in charge of. So I encourage families to give decision-making back to their aging loved ones. And so allowing them to be in charge of their home sale, whatever way possible, even if it's a small decision, it matters that it was theirs. So which lamp would you like to take of these two? Would you like to move in September or October? Which of these realtors made you feel more comfortable? Which plant in the front yard would you like me to take a sprig of so we can grow it in the window at your new senior care community?
Yeah.
Give them choices, let them be in charge no matter what. And I always say to clients when I'm sitting in their living room, I say, you're in charge. I'm taking my orders from you. This is your home sale. I'm just here to do what you want. Yeah. And I can see the way that it changes them.
Absolutely.
To have that given back to them.
Rebecca, what you're saying, I can go right back to my mother's experience with me. And this is before I knew anything, right?
Right.
But I was a high-powered, strong-arming, pragmatic, let's get it done type of a daughter. I've learned since that's the worst thing. So I was a poster child that did everything wrong, right? That's what it started.
I'm sure that's not the case.
I said, Mom, I got it handled. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And it was like, I remember the look on her face of absolute, like digging her heels in. And it humbled me because I realized, I have a lot to learn. And and over time I did learn from her so many things that were incredible. But one of the things I think that's so valuable in what you're saying is that allowing that decision-making process is critical. And it's critical in the fact that they have to feel the dignity and they're owed their dignity, they're owed their pride,
agency,
and their own life, and they have to feel like life is not spinning out of control. And there's a dynamic too, which we always talk about here on the show. If you're the adult son or the adult daughter, to try to parent your parent all of a sudden or take over is absolutely the wrong thing in the world to do, because it will never work. It will only build more dissension between you. So in these types of relationships, it's like, I think of words respect, it's dignity, and it's honoring them and respecting the chair of where they sit in, which is your parent. And I think that's something that a lot of people forget.
Yes.
They just take it over, and then that's where it all starts to break down. I mean,
And
are
the
you finding that
professionals,
true?
yes, and the professionals do this too, in that they go
Yeah.
sit in the living room with mom or with the adult daughter and the adult son. And there's mom who's in her 80s or 90s, and they only talk to the adult children when mom is sitting there listening.
Mhm.
This is her
Even
house.
doctors do that. I yelled at one
Right.
once. Yeah.
And I went to a home visit recently where they actually said to me over the phone, Rebecca, would you mind talking to him? Because the other folks that have come have only talked to us. And I thought, oh, that's terrible that you have to ask that. These professionals are pretending like they're not even in the room. It's their home.
Yeah.
It's their life. It's their home sale journey. It's their decision. We want to give the decision making back to them. So that's number 3, decision making. Number 4 is knowledge and information. And again, we go back to the sort of mindset of the adult child or the professional who has business, tasks ahead. They have their schedule and they go, Mom, this is what we're going to do, but not why. This is the information around the things that we have. So as an example, one time I was getting what's called a CMA from different realtors, a comparative market analysis, and they come in and they tell you what your home is worth and what they think they could sell it for, which as realtors we do for our senior clients. One realtor came in and she said, well, I think you can sell for $550. She just pulled the number out of the air, threw it at me. I didn't know why. I didn't know what was the basis for it. She was confident. The other realtor came in and he said, let's look at comparative homes in the neighborhood that have sold. Let's look at how your home looks compared to them with updates and features. How many days on market are homes taking to sell? What's your competition? What are the market trends right now? I can see when I'm sharing all this information with a senior homeowner, the satisfaction they feel that they're well informed about why.
Absolutely.
Why is their home valued that way? And so I say, ask me all the questions you want. I want you to feel like there's nothing that's a mystery, that you can just ask and ask. And if you run out of questions and then you think of one in 3 days, call me back and ask it too.
Yeah.
So that you can be the best and well-informed decision maker.
And what you're saying is so important, because there are questions later.
Yes.
They might forget of something you told them, and then you need clarification. And the fact that you open up that open dialogue with the senior, because they are going to have questions. This is a huge, monumental thing.
Yes.
And I know that I've worked just recently with a family that her husband had passed away and it like 2 years before. And she was realizing that, now she had to learn to take over the finances, and she'd never touched finances at all. She never had anything to do with the finances. Right. And so all of a sudden, here she was having to figure out, what does all this mean? What's the good thing for me to do? Where do I go? What do I do? Her adult children are arguing, and so I just remember, it was really a situation where, I got on a conference call and I basically asked her in front of her children. Okay. Number one, I said to you, I said, are you ready to make decisions? Because the only person that's going to do that is you.
Right.
And she was like, thank you. And I said, and every single one of you, unless you're an acting power of attorney, which you're not yet. So you're there to support whatever decision she makes. That's the thing I think that's so important.
Well informed. So we're up to 4: kindness, patience, decision-making, and knowledge and information. Very basic rights that every senior homeowner should have in their home sale.
That's awesome. And we're going to continue this conversation, but first before we go into the next one, we have a little bit more time in this segment. So I really want to dive into how can families most support those two principles, because I think we talked about the rights of a senior, but if you're talking to a loved one and say to mom, I think, your cash resources are depleting. We're in a situation where we're concerned. How do you recommend that you help facilitate that as a family member?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Suzanne. And really coming about it in a gentle way, not a confrontational way, not a lay it down at you,
Mhm.
not a I'm just going to be straight with you kind of a thing, but
Mhm.
asking questions. Where do you see yourself in a year?
Yeah.
How will you be able to keep up with the housework once you can't climb the stairs anymore?
Yeah.
How will you be able to interact with other people?
Sure.
Really gentle in terms of a conversation
Mhm.
instead of kind of a laying it down.
Mhm.
And I also recommend to families, if mom or dad is, a lot of folks have this terrible image of nursing homes of the 1960s where you go to die, and they don't realize these retirement homes are like a casino or a
They're wonderful.
hotel. They're
Yeah.
a cruise ship. They're amazing. Just offer just a weekend stay. How about
Yeah.
just a weekend stay? There's no commitment.
Or even
Try
could
it
just go
out.
to lunch
Just go to
someplace.
lunch.
Let's do a little outing. Let's go over. We've never been there, mom. Let's go check out this place. We'll make a reservation. They'll treat us to lunch, and we'll just look. You don't even have to think about it today, but at least we're looking. And that's the
Yes.
thing, I think, that's opening their mind up to what's available. So, Rebecca, before we go to our next segment, how do we reach you?
Find information on our website with stories and before and after photos and testimonials at sashservices.com.
I am so excited about just this whole subject, because it's so valuable. And you know what? I'm going to say everything you've said so far goes to any aspect of senior care.
Yes.
I have to say that, whether
Yes.
it's moving into senior living, whether it's a healthcare issue, whether it's a legal issue, anything like that. I love your thoughts. So Rebecca will be right back right
Thank
after
you.
this.
Answers for Elders radio show with Suzanne Newman hopes you found this podcast useful in your journey of navigating senior care. Check out more podcasts like this to help you find qualified senior care experts in areas of financial, legal, health and wellness, and living options. Learn about our radio show, receive promotional discounts, and meet our experts by clicking on the banner to join the Senior Advocate Network at AnswersForEldersRadio.com. Now there is one place to find the Answers for Elders.